welcome to this edition of Buncombe Live. As always, you're going to love it. Sit back, relax, enjoy. I'm out here at the corner of College and Valley for no real particular reason to start off the show other than to give you a shot of the Life Safety Tower. A few months ago, we took you inside that construction. Well, as you can see, the outside of the construction has almost topped off. That's about as tall as it's going to be. Of course, they'll put an outside on it, they'll do the inside, and we'll go back and show you what it looks like from the inside pretty soon. Just wanted you to see that. I'm out here. This is really the county administrative complex now. This building is owned by the county. 200 College, 205 College across the street is owned. I'm telling you all this for a reason that you'll know in just a few minutes. First, I'm headed upstairs to talk to Mandy Stone. She's our Assistant County Manager and Director of Social Services. They've just produced their 2011, as a reflection of 2010, their Human Services Report, which you can get online. I think you'll find very interesting if you want to see that. It really shows you about the growing need of economic services and all kinds of stuff that's going on here in the county and how we're meeting it. But she's going to speak to that, and then she's going to introduce us to a really neat person that you'll meet later in this half hour. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, and follow me upstairs to meet Mandy. I'm here with Mandy Stone, like I promised you. I want to talk about, Mandy, you've just released your Human Services Report.
We have. We just released our annual report.
And we're going to tell the folks at home how they can get it, and I would suggest that you look at it. You can see it online. It's really, really interesting, and I just want to spend a few minutes talking about that because y'all have done some amazing things that I think folks at home will love to hear about. I was amazed when I heard the report. But before we talk about that, everybody knows hard times.
Absolutely.
Your employees, I think, more than anybody, see firsthand what's going on in this county. Just talk a little bit about that. Is it getting any better? Is it kind of flattening out, or is it getting worse? One of the things that you put in here, which just really touched me, is it says, many residents are coping with unemployment. People who have worked hard all their lives to take care of themselves and their families are facing coming through your doors for the first time.
That's primarily the individuals that we've seen over the last year, individuals who've never relied on public assistance before of any kind. We clearly see people continuing to work, but we see people underemployed or working 2 or 3 jobs and still unable to make ends meet. They just need temporary help, be that through health care coverage, heating assistance. They just need some temporary help through this economic downturn.
And this is kind of layered on the people that you see that come to you anyway.
That's true. We've seen unprecedented growth, 72% growth over some programs such as food assistance.
Now tell me, you were telling me a minute ago that just one day, a couple weeks ago, y'all had how many people?
We had about 400 people come through the lobby at DSS before lunch. And what's really staggering about that is about 97% of our work, those individuals never walk in the front door. They either apply online or through telephone using our call center. They never come in the front door.
Oh, now I want you to hear that. In my mind, all the people that y'all deal with come through those front doors at 40 Cox. They just come in. That's what you're saying. That's not the majority of the people.
It's it's about 3% across the board of the majority of people we serve.
And if you've ever been to the lobby,
it's packed.
It is absolutely a zoo. It really is. It's just packed. Excuse me, just to get through there. So you're saying that that's just 3% of the people that you deal with?
About 3%. We've worked really hard to try to accommodate that we mostly serve a working population, and that they lose time at work and possibly lose their job if they miss work time to come in to apply. So we've really worked on people being able to apply through the telephone, through calling our call center, going online to apply, and through our partner agencies. We've embedded employees throughout the county.
And that's another thing I think, when anybody talks about social services or food stamps or heating assistance, one of the huge myths, and you and I have talked about this for years, is that these are people who lay at home and watch Jerry Springer all day that get these services. That's not true. That's a myth.
No, that is a myth. These are people who work, often more than one job. and who have taken care of themselves and paid taxes over the years and contributed to society and continue to do so.
Right. And they just need assistance.
They need temporary assistance.
And just take 1 second, and I thought that your annual report did a really good job of showing the broad spectrum of what you do, what this county does for its citizens. But just talk a minute about how what you do for these citizens helps the rest of us.
Well, I think ultimately the community needs people to be productive in terms of work, able to care for themselves and their family, able to give back to the community at times, and that's basically our mission. It's about helping people move and maintain self-sufficiency. We've been very involved along with Wake County in an initiative called Moving to the Middle, which is really understanding who moves in and out of poverty in this type of economy and how you help move them and maintain them in the middle, and that really is about temporary assistance.
And that's pulling our whole community
Pulls
up.
the whole. It's what makes us sustainable. It's what makes us a place that companies want to move to, that families and individuals want to move to, and that young people, as they complete their education, want to stay here,
That's right.
find work, and contribute in the long term.
And we have done such a great job in this county at doing that. And one of the things I think is, I don't know if people at home know this, we say it on this show all the time, we're the cutting edge. Buncombe County really does do the first things first. We do things nobody else does.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that y'all have done, and this is what I'm so excited for you to talk just a little bit about, and we'll come back and do another show on this, but what you've done in your lobby at 40 Cox. It's currently under construction.
It is.
But this has taken a long time and a lot of thinking to merge all these different assistance programs, but it's health and mental health and social services and economic services and everything together.
It is.
I just want you to talk a little bit about that. One thing from your report, it says we're pushing to expand access options, so no matter where citizens turn for help, it's always the right door. And I thought that's what you've done.
I agree. I think one of Buncombe County government strengths across the board is we're always forward thinking, and that puts us on that cutting edge. We've watched for a long time the changes in who we serve and how people who are served by the public health system or the child care services system or the veteran services system tend to be the same individuals, and how can we better coordinate and streamline services. So Cox will be a fully integrated health and human service system. When an individual comes in, they'll have multiple ways to access services, and can access any health or DSS service or child care service in that one location. We want it to be easy for individuals, but we also want to be supportive of their work and their family. People can call anytime, day or night, 7 days a week, and access services. We really are trying to build an emotional platform that's about taking care of individuals and their family and our community. That's a part of our mission, the strength of the community.
Well, now that is so exciting, and I know when you get over there and you get your system all done, we want to come over
I'll
and
be very excited to share it with you.
good and showcase that for you, so you as a citizen can be proud of what we're doing one more time. Now, I want to talk about something else you've done, which I think is extremely innovative, and that you've revamped the Office of Veteran Services, and we are on our way across the street from where we're at right now to talk with Kevin Turner. So I want you to tell me a little bit about why you revamped that, and then where you found Kevin Turner.
Okay. First of all, we are one of the counties that has the largest veterans population in the state. I think we're the fourth in terms of the size of the veteran population.
And I had no idea.
I know.
That's
We're
incredible.
projected to be one of the fastest growing communities in North Carolina with a veteran services population. Thanks to the county commissioners, I've had an opportunity to be involved in a national committee that's preparing for how we serve veterans returning from our current wars, which is different than the issues we saw in veterans in the past. So we know we wanted to grow the service. I think Buncombe County commissioners have always been very committed to serving veterans. They've really been supportive of my team looking at what are creative ways across the nations where counties are expanding those services. So we did a lot of research on that and came back and talked about how do we want to grow a one-stop center for our veterans, which is what we have opened the doors, and y'all are going to walk across in that process. I think it's an important point to make. The county supported us tripling our staffing in that process. So we have more individuals. All of the individuals who work in that office are veterans themselves.
Yeah, and I know Kevin's going to tell us what the need is.
Absolutely.
He's going to go over that. But I think the story of how Kevin got that job, he won't brag about himself, and he won't tell that. So that's what I wanted you to tell us.
I think that's a great story that really does emphasize how much Buncombe County cares about its veteran employees. Kevin was a social worker and then a social work supervisor with DSS. He was deployed many times in his career. Last time he was deployed for about 6.5 years, which, as you know, legally extends the period of time that we were required to hold his job, and Kevin talks a lot about that. I think for Buncombe County, we never debated holding this job. I mean, I think we're always going to do all we can to hold our veterans whole and be the place they can come back to.
I want our folks to hear, he was a social worker.
He was.
He was already employed with Buncombe County, but then he was deployed, and you held his job.
We've held his jobs through several deployments, the most recent about 6.5 years.
6.5 years. So he came, and the beauty of this is it's a win-win-win.
It's an absolute win-win-win.
Yeah, because he was a social worker, so he's trained in that.
He is.
He went off, you held his job, he comes back, and he came back about to be a brigadier general. So
absolutely.
He has got some credentials.
He has some credentials. He completed his doctorate degree. He has a degree in ministerial counseling, completed his doctorate degree while he was away. And he was in charge and actually now holds the position of Deputy Director of Readiness and Mobilization for the Army Reserves. And as a result of that, he's also going to help us with our coup planning and disaster planning, something he has expertise and experience in. He's a member of our secondary trauma team because of his education and training in counseling and crisis support programs. So it really is a win-win.
So he's firsthand. He's been deployed. He's been there on the front lines.
Had his family impacted by that.
Had his family impacted. He's been impacted. Now he's come back to lead the Office of Veteran Services. So not only has he got the background in social work, incredibly educated, militarily prepared, it's amazing how he fits into this, and thankfully we saved his job.
I think that's one of the things we do pretty well as an organization is trying to make sure we have the right people in the right seat on the bus, and Kevin was a great opportunity for us to honor him and his service, and a great opportunity for the organization and the community because of what he brings back. He has such passion for the work, which you'll see when you talk to him. He's already, as a result of doing an update for commissioners, got numerous calls from the community, already building stronger partnerships in the community. I just couldn't be prouder or more excited about it.
And we are going to introduce you to Kevin next, so stay tuned for that. Mandy, before we wrap up with you, is there anything else that you're especially excited about at Cox Avenue that you want our folks at home to know about? Or?
Well, I think we're just excited because we've been hard at work, relentlessly at work on this since about 2005. I think it's really important for the citizens to know that the technologies and the streamlining of access to systems have also saved us from adding additional staff. So they really are a good use of taxpayers' money in addition to being a better way to serve individuals.
That's right. And one thing I heard you say right there, which is just crucial and what makes me so proud of Buncombe County, you said we've been planning for this since about 2005.
We have.
The downturn in the economy didn't come until about 2007, 2008. Buncombe County was looking ahead.
Absolutely.
And saying, look, we see it coming. We're going to be prepared for it when it comes. Just like Kevin, wait till you hear the need. We're ready.
I agree. We're ready.
We're ready. So you can be proud that you live in Buncombe County. Stay tuned. We'll be with Kevin next. I hope you enjoyed that. Mandy always has such interesting information to share. And like we promised, I'm on my way across the street to talk with Kevin. You're going to really enjoy this, so make sure you stay tuned. Before we go over there, I want you to have an idea of where that office is. Right now I'm at 200 College, which is at the corner, at the roundabout of College and Valley. His office is right straight in front of me. And it's 199 College Street. And we'll try to give you kind of an idea of where that is because you may need those services or you may know someone who needs them and you'll need to find that office. Of course, you can always give them a call and they'll give you directions or Google it, 199 College Street, Asheville, North Carolina. So stay with me as we go ahead over and talk with Kevin.
Don't feed the bears. A fed bear is a dead bear.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
Just like I promised, I'm here with Kevin Turner. However, we are not in his office. We went over there to try to find a decent place to film. Let me just say, they're nice offices, but they were too busy. Y'all have some traffic over there. It just didn't work. So we stole a little conference room here. So just pretend we're in your office having a conversation.
Okay.
It's great to be here with you, Kevin. Tell me what your rank is, just so, because like we've been talking, I know nothing about the military, but like Mandy introduced Kevin, you have served many times in the reserves, and you have a rank that I won't even begin to try to say because I don't understand it. So tell us what your rank is.
I've just been promoted to Brigadier General.
That's Army?
That's Army.
Okay. And you were Army Reserve?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Well, Mandy told us a little bit about you that the folks at home have already seen, that you were a social worker. Okay. Then you went on several deployments to Iraq, I'm guessing?
Different
places?
Yeah, different places.
Different places.
Right.
Then you came back. We saved you. The last time you were gone about 6 years. County saved your job. She says hallelujah. We all say thank goodness, because you've come back at a wonderful time to address a need, and that's what we're going to talk with you about, to lead the department of the revamped Office of Veteran Services. And you've got two fellas and a woman over there helping you, and I'll let you introduce those folks. But first of all, I want to talk about the need, which you understand firsthand because you've been on the front lines. You understand social work, you understand the need. And recently, if you folks at home didn't see it, he did speak with our county commissioners and did a great job of laying out the need. And I would like for you to tell me a little bit about what you guys are facing in your office over there.
Okay. The Office of Veteran Affairs actually says that there's going to be a decline in the number of veterans. Right. They project about 200 in Buncombe County, for example, less per year. The problem is while there's an actual decline, if it actually shows up that way, it doesn't really accurately depict the need. We're losing roughly 1,000 World War II veterans every single day. That's what's contributing to the decline.
And that was a big need in the past.
Right, it was. And right now there's like 25 million veterans across the United States. There's 21,000 plus a little bit in Buncombe County. So the numbers seem to indicate. So you're losing all these World War II vets every single day, which is a great loss for us. But those guys and gals have already been served by the VA. Now they may get a check, they may get their medical stuff done at the VA, but all the work of getting them engaged and involved in the system has been done. What hasn't been done is dealing with the last 10 years of war.
Right.
And so, you know, we've had, I think I've figured it out, there's like 2 million people that have been deployed, of which 793,000 have been deployed more than once across the last 10 years. And that's assuming we stop, you know, right now. And all those folks coming back have got issues. Not all, but you understand what I'm saying when I say that.
They're different issues, too.
They're different issues. It falls into different categories in a way. We have 40,000+ wounded, and many of these that are wounded would never have survived if it had been Vietnam era or if it had been Korea. So they're coming back with horrible amputations, a thing called TBI, traumatic brain injury, where they've been exposed to a concussive event that's basically shaking their brain up. And they're coming back, and their needs are going to be greater just statistically because in the past they would have been dead.
That's something none of us realize. At least I didn't, and I think I'm pretty average. So that if we were an era back, these folks would not be coming back.
That's correct. We have done wonderful things in terms of trying to take care of people on site, and without, you know, becoming overly graphic, you can have a person, a soldier, that's exposed to an IED, an improvised explosive device. There are instances where they've lost several limbs in the event itself because a medic has been on site, because they have good transportation out of the area and good technology on the other side once they get them out. These guys and gals are surviving these events. which is good. I mean, they've actually got people that do research to try to answer that question, whether this is good or bad.
Right.
And in some respects, it's what the veteran makes of it.
Yeah.
But generally
But they need
speaking,
help.
they do.
And this is, you're just making the point so beautiful, because it's a different help than our World War II or Vietnam folks needed. You're changing the face of veteran services, because these folks are coming back, but they're going to need help to be able to re-enter society in a different way.
They are, and one of the things that the community is going to see common between this conflict and between what has happened in Vietnam are the PTSD. We didn't know what it was called, we didn't know the right language to give it, but everybody's heard about it now. And what I can tell you is that of these folks that have been involved and engaged in these experiences, right now somewhere between 12 and 20% of them are already coming back showing PTSD type symptomology. There are some studies that indicate that up to 35% are going to end up with some sort of stress disorder that we're going to have to try to help. And PTSD affects the whole community.
It certainly does. It does. So even if you don't have a outside physical injury, you could have that.
Absolutely.
And that's a big percentage of the folks that come back.
Well, if it shows up to be 35% of 2 million people,
Yeah, that's a big number.
that's a lot of folks.
And even here in Buncombe County.
Yes, absolutely.
So you are just perfectly situated, I think, to address this need that's coming even into our county. How is your office going to do that? And what does, I know if folks at home are like me, I knew we had an Office of Veteran Services, didn't really know what they did. I really didn't know how to tell anybody about it because I didn't know what you did. So now, what do y'all do and what can you do for our veterans? Or if somebody's watching at home and they know a veteran who might use your services, what do y'all do?
Well, I want to kind of build to that answer, if you don't mind, because
Sure.
I want to compliment Buncombe County.
Sure.
They gave me a job. That's cool. That's great. I'm happy about that. But what they also did is in military vernacular, they put resources against a problem set. They had an office of one person that, if you look at the history, was overworked and hidden away sort of in the general organizational scheme of things. What they did is they hired me, for whatever that's worth, and then they hired 2 veteran service officers to actually work the cases, and they hired a clerical person, put us together as a structure, and then put us on Main Street, so to speak, where we can be found, doing things like this to where the word gets out and people can come in. Now, once you do that, then all of a sudden you are a resource that's available to the community.
Right.
And that's where we can actually make a difference. Any veteran is welcome. Any family member of a veteran is welcome to walk into our
That's a key
office.
piece too. I'm glad you said that, because I don't think a lot of people know you're also there to help families of veterans.
We are, absolutely. The there's so much I want to say, forgive me.
That's okay.
One of the beautiful things about the way this office is set up and the resources the county has given us is they have given us the liberty to color a wee bit outside the lines of what strict veteran services is. Normally a veteran service office works directly for a county. And when they do that, then their sole purpose is pretty much the veteran comes in, you do what you can to get them linked up to services with the VA.
Right.
Either at a state level or at the federal level, but that's what you do specifically. What the county has given us liberty to do is to also be concerned a little bit beyond that. So if they're homeless or if they have some sort of job issue, we may not be able to solve it, but we know how to try to get them connected with people who can solve it. So there's an element of social justice or social work that comes into play that, you know, other veteran service offices don't have the opportunity, time, or resources to do. We do.
That makes me so proud of Buncombe County.
I may live in Haywood, but I'm kind of fond of Buncombe right now.
I'm so glad, because that's just perfect of what Mandy and I were talking about earlier. Whatever it takes, you matter to us. I know those are buzzwords we're hearing, and the folks at home will hear more about. But these people matter, and you don't just want to say, okay, we can do this for you in this little box, and now go on your way. You have the liberty to say, this is your need, And this is everything we know of that's available to help you. And you touched on homeless veterans, and I heard you say it when you spoke with the commissioners that that's a huge issue.
Oh, absolutely. Basically, veterans make up roughly 8% of the population, if you kind of just spread it out across the United States. But of the homeless population, they make up 20%, which right away tells you that there's a disproportionate representation, for whatever reason, in our homeless population. We have one organization that's church related here in town that does a really, really good job trying to reach out and meet those needs. There are people that they can't reach. There's limits upon their resources. And so there are other folks out there that, are homeless right now. Maybe we can help them. Maybe we can help prevent them from becoming homeless.
Right, that's a key right there. When I heard the credentials of some of the folks that you have working over there,
yep,
that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, it shouldn't be surprising we're effective. In fact, what you will hear me say over and over, if this is not successful, then the fault is definitely mine, because they have given me good people to do the job.
So you want people to call you.
Absolutely.
If they think you might be able to help them, call. If you know somebody who you think could use the resources here, they need to call, and we'll get your contact information on the screen for folks. Is there any one thing that you want folks to know about Veteran Services?
Yes, actually there is. There's a lot of folks whose job it is to guard resources. They try to check to make sure you meet this qualification, that criteria, one thing or another. That's not our job. We are not gatekeepers of resources. Veteran service officers are advocates for the veteran. So the veteran, the veteran's family can come in, and it's our job to try to help them. We might be able to look at a piece of paper and say, okay, we may not think that this is going to work, but guess what? We're going to go for it anyway, because that's what the veteran wants. That's what he may want, she may need. They're earned benefits. These are not entitlement type things. They're earned benefits. Right. And our job is to try to help that veteran or their family connect with those things. And we'll do our best to do that. Don't care about all the other stuff that goes around. Send them to us. We'll help.
That is awesome. Well, I'm proud of this office. I'm proud of you. I'm proud the county hired you. I think it's awesome. I think I just spread the word. That's all I can say. Y'all are out front. You're on the street. They can find you. Spread the word, and I hope folks will come, and definitely those veterans who need the services can find you guys, because I really think you can help them.
We'll look forward to trying.
Great. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, ma'am.
Stay tuned. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Buncombe Live. Once again, I'm so proud of this county. Kevin, that's just some amazing information. And if you are a veteran, if you know a veteran, if you're family of a veteran, if you think they can help you, please call them. They have wonderful resources. And as you can see, their office is right here. Come see them. Parking is in our deck or here on the street, right here at the roundabout. They're easy to find. Just give them a call. I really think that they could really help this community and you and our veterans. I'm so proud that we've made that available. Again, Mandy's report, if you want to know about the needs here in Buncombe County, is available. And always stay tuned next month for more Buncombe Live.